Long ago, in a land of great kingdoms and vast riches, there lived a man named Jabari. Though he was the wealthiest man in the entire region, he longed for something greater than gold. He desired a love that was pure and true. So, he made a daring choice. He disguised himself as a poor beggar and settled in a village far from his home. Each day, he wandered the dusty roads, dressed in tattered clothes, asking for food or a place to rest. The women of the village sneered at him, laughing behind his back. "Who would ever love a beggar?" they whispered. The men mocked him, and even the elders ignored his presence. But Jabari remained patient, waiting for the day he would find the one who saw past appearances. One fateful afternoon, a grand procession entered the village. Drummers played, dancers swayed, and warriors led the way for a beautiful princess named Zahra. She had traveled from the neighboring kingdom, bearing gifts from her father to the king of this land. As the princess stepped from her royal carriage, her eyes wandered through the bustling marketplace. And that was when she saw him, the beggar. There was something in his posture, something in his eyes. Kindness, wisdom, mystery. The villagers gasped as Zahra approached the ragged man. "What is your name?" she asked softly. "I am but a humble traveler," Jabari replied. From that moment, Zahra could not turn her thoughts away from him. When she spoke of her interest, the village erupted in laughter. "You are a princess. How can you love a beggar?" Some scoffed. Others warned, "You will disgrace your family." But Zahra's heart was unmoved by their words. Ignoring the jeers, she invited Jabari to return with her to her father's kingdom. When they arrived at the royal palace, Zahra led him before her father, King Omari, and introduced him as the man she wished to marry. The king studied Jabari closely, then his eyes widened in shock. "Jabari, son of Chief Adisa." Jabari smiled. "Yes, your majesty, I am the same. I disguised myself as a beggar to seek a love that was not blinded by wealth." Silence fell over the room as realization dawned on everyone. The man they had mocked was not just rich, he was the wealthiest in the region. The same villagers who had scorned him now trembled at their folly. The wise king chuckled. "You are indeed clever, Jabari, and my daughter has proven her heart is pure." Turning to Zahra, he said, "You have chosen well, my child." Not everyone was happy about Zahra's choice. Among her companions was a close friend named Amina, who had always desired a rich and powerful man for herself. When she learned that Jabari was not a beggar, but the wealthiest man in the region, envy consumed her heart. As preparations for the grand wedding were underway, Amina made a dangerous decision. She would seduce Jabari and claim him for herself. The night before the wedding, Zahra sat outside as her hair was being plaited by her maidens, laughing and chatting with them. Inside, Jabari was in his room when Amina sneaked in, closing the door behind her. She removed her long dress, leaving only a revealing short garment. She sat directly in front of him, her thighs exposed, a seductive smile playing on her lips. "Jabari," she purred, "why settle for Zahra when you can have me? I can give you more pleasure than she ever could." Jabari's face darkened with anger. "Amina, leave my room at once," he commanded. But she did not move. "Why resist, my lord?" "I know you desire me," she whispered, inching closer. Furious and disgusted, Jabari bolted from the room and ran straight outside, where Zahra and the other women sat. His voice was loud and clear as he declared, "Amina has just attempted to dishonor me and betray her friend. She came to seduce me while my bride-to-be was right outside." Gasps and murmurs spread through the crowd. Zahra's eyes flared with anger and disappointment as she stood up. The village elders were immediately summoned, and Amina was dragged before them. She tried to deny her actions, but Jabari's words were undeniable, and her guilt was evident. The elders ruled that Amina had brought shame upon herself and could no longer step foot in the palace or attend the wedding. She was banished from the royal grounds and sent back to her village in disgrace. A few days later, the long-awaited wedding took place. Drummers beat their rhythms, dancers performed, and the entire kingdom celebrated the union of Zahra and Jabari. The love they shared was pure, tested by doubt, mockery, and jealousy, but it had endured. From that day forth, their story was told across the lands as a lesson. True love is found not in riches or status, but in the heart. And those who seek love with greed and deception will only find shame. And so, Jabari and Zahra lived happily. Their love became a shining example to others.